the target, I'm flying blind. They're taking aim from every side. Left and right, they throw their fire. Keybird heroes full of iron. Their words are bullets made of air. Hit and vanish like they're not there. Cowards in the dark, hiding in the sparks. Shadows in their heart. I'm over the target. I'm over the target. Type and fury in their little rooms, safe from the echo of their own booms. No medals earned, no battles fall. Just hollow noise and angry thoughts. Real soldiers bleed, real soldiers fall. These ghosts of glass, they've risked it all. To click and clatter, to shout and scream, but courage doesn't live in a meme. Cowards in the dark, hiding in the sparks. Shadows in their heart. I'm over the target. I'm over the target. I'm over the target. Cowards in the dark, hiding in the sparks. Shadows in their heart. I'm over the target. I'm over the target. I'm over the target. I'm over the
Another day has arrived, and we are still in the same place of disarray. Hope is in the distance. I can see a tiny glimpse of light, just a tiny, tiny light. It is there, I know it. I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive. Yesterday has gone, but this I know. Today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance. Tomorrow may not arrive, I can feel it in my heart. I have prayed for it for oh so long. I know that it is coming our way. Tomorrow may not arrive, yesterday has gone, but this I know, today is gonna turn out just right. Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our Colonel Chris is a ray of sunshine. He has arrived just in time to keep that tiny light in the horizon still burning bright. Our prayers are being answered, so don't despair. Someone we can trust, which has been a long time coming when our hopes were shattered. He is that tiny bright light in the distance.
Down by the lot near the old cafe where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and the drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks scale? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes from a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Find them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this lie here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
Good morning, folks. Good evening to those here in the Rocky Mountains here. Good morning, everyone over in South Africa, Europe, and Australasia. Good morning once again. It's Chris live from Salt Lake City. That's right, the heart of the Latter-day Saints and their faith right here today. Visited Temple Square, many other places. Many thanks to Courtney McBride, who's in the chat tonight. Courtney, I hope your evening went well. We discussed your plans. You found yourself online at this hour, but Courtney was a fantastic host. Made the trip down here just so I could meet Courtney finally after nearly 5 years. Maybe it's been 5 years, but Courtney was a fantastic host. Met with me just down the street from my hotel, a block away, and we walked up to the Temple Square and took me around there. And then we went up to the state capitol building. And from there, he showed me around the campus here, Utah University, also Fort Douglas, and then showed me some of his old haunts, and then took me out to one of the canyons. And it was a really lovely afternoon. Went to the Heritage Park. That was pretty amazing. It's really an awful lot like the Fort Trekker Monument in some ways. Not the building, but the monument there. So pretty cool stuff, and I really enjoyed it. And thank you once again to Courtney. It would have been a very different experience for me today. I'll be here tomorrow morning for a little bit, and then it's off to my home. Well, the home of my heart, my spirit home, Wyoming. I'll be off today or tomorrow. But before I get there, I'll be heading through Utah up to Bear Lake and into Idaho, Bear Lake, and then slipping right back over into Wyoming. And I'll be there tomorrow night. But welcome, folks. It's a pleasure to have everyone join us again this evening. Let me see who's in the chat. Some big news. Gabe McKenzie threatens to quit his ministerial position. Is he all hot air or is he serious? That light is just not quite working right, is it? Yeah, with my eyes. There we go. Anyway, well, one of my eyes is in the dark, so we'll survive. It's not the end of the world. Let's try that. That's really helped us a little bit. Anyway, so Mandy van Rooyen's here. Arctic is here. Philip Holtz, Alan Kotze, Madeline Swart, Mandy van Rooyen, Dylan Combrick. Dylan, you, Keith, Arctic, Hendo, and a handful of others. Malcolm's back again. You're always here, man, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Some folks have been with us from the very beginning have kind of faded off recently. They're not here much anymore. I'm sorry to see that. That's unfortunate. Not sure why. Equal honesty. Maybe the content just isn't that appealing. It's possible. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm slipping. Get a little older here or something. But yeah, I'm not sure. So anyway, more people have things going on in their lives. That's probably what it is. They've just got lots of stuff going on in their lives and just don't have time for watching content. Leslie Wilson, welcome to you. Hannes Olafia. Malcolm Clothy. Malcolm's an OG. He's been with us for a long time. Expat Family Joubert. Courtney McBride. There's Courtney. Carnell. 5 o'clock. Yes, it's 5 o'clock for you guys. Dan Bailey in from Wyoming. Folks, it's surprising to me how many people in this region watch this program. It's fascinating. I love it. I love it. Of course, Dan and I go back away to 2020 when it was 2020 Cowboy Action Shooters. I met Dan, then we had him and his dad on the program, and we talked about that. They do some pretty cool stuff. Dan, how's that going? He's still doing Cowboy Action Shooting? What's up with that? We haven't talked about that in a while. I'm kind of afraid to put that on air again because YouTube started going after people who put firearms on air. It's really stupid. No merit to their strikes, but you got to be careful. Emerencia Quinn, welcome to you. Petrus Fundalinda, AJ Quinn. I'm actually squatting down here, bending my back because I sit upright. It's just, well, I guess that's okay. All right. Amanda Lowe, hello to you. Gordon van Rensburg, welcome to you. And Lorette, I think I said all right. Rebecca Elmarie Mayer, Husky, Carlos Freda. Hey, Carlos, what's going on, man? Dogzilla's back. Welcome, Dogzilla. How is Seattle tonight? Lovely weather. This time of year, you're not getting the rain. This isn't the rainy season, so it must be very lovely in Seattle. How you doing there, Dogzilla? All right. Karen Graham, welcome to you. And Denise Bellingen, welcome to you. Dirk Kotsia, David Farinen. Refugee repeat questions have drove off a lot of OGs. Well, that's unfair of them to do that, Arctic, because we both know that I spend most of my time in the news talking about the news. I only interrupt occasionally for the refugee stuff, so I don't know why they would drop off from the news. That's kind of unfair to punish the channel for that. So anyway, all right. Good morning, Rhino Faster. Dropped off girlfriend at 8. Oh, you had a lovely date. Congratulations, Courtney. Courtney was telling about his new girlfriend. He's dating. Congratulations to Courtney. Yep, I didn't want to keep him from his date, so. Oh, I'll chat a couple months ago. Okay, Arctic, thank you. Yeah, well, that's really lame of people to do that, though, to just disappear like that, It's kind of like the people who, you say one thing, they don't like it, and they just run off. And they're like, well, I'm not going to listen to your channel anymore. Seriously? How serious a person are you? Anyway, it's a shame. We had some really interesting people here from the outset, and some of them stuck with a long time. Keith Alderson is still here. We see him a lot. I haven't seen Fleshin much lately. I don't know if he's just busy, but Fleshin hasn't been around much lately. Peter Smith. And there's Raina Fletch. Hey, Raina. The other thing too, Arctic, we both know this. I mean, it wasn't sustainable. I mean, we had 20,000 subscribers and 75 to 100, 125 people for, the regular news broadcast. That's not sustainable in the long term. I mean, I was really putting a lot of time and effort into it. So, anyway, Arnold Neville just gave 35 Rand. The clouds are gathering here in the Great Salt Lake. Dan says, haven't done much this year. A lot going on. Some of the clubs around have started to age out and stop doing it. Okay. All right, Dan. Well, thanks for sharing that. I was curious about that because, that becomes a problem with things like that. You got to keep younger people engaged. Otherwise, it kind of fades away, just disappears. And I'd hate to see it go away. It's a really cool activity. Folks, we're talking about cowboy action shooters, CAS. It's cool stuff. Excuse me. There's a video on this channel or on my old channel where we actually talk about it. Yeah, Jan and Mariki, we played that game today. So that's what I want to talk about. That's not a RevG thing. That's my activity for today. So we just talked about one of the activities I did. By the way, folks, wide open highways with super wide lanes and straight stretches, clear skies. Sometimes it's the worst time to drive because people become absent-minded, don't pay attention. Twice today, I was nearly run off the road. Twice. First time by a semi-truck. He wasn't paying attention. I was in the passing lane, going the speed limit, which is 80 miles an hour, by the way. And he wasn't paying attention, or he was drifting off or falling asleep, and his semi started coming right into my lane. And I'm like, so I swerved to avoid him. And he saw me swerve, or heard me swerve, and he whipped it back and nearly flipped the damn thing over. I think he might have been falling asleep, even though it was daytime. That was the first time. Then about an hour later, I was in Utah this time. That was around the border with Utah, Idaho and Utah. Then I was in Utah. And a guy in a big white, like Ford F-150 or GMC Denali, something like that. One of those big Buckies, big pickup trucks. He's talking to his wife. He's not even watching the road. I'm driving. And I suddenly see this slightly ahead of me, this white pickup truck just come right into my lane. And I'm like, whoa, when I whipped over, there was plenty of space because there's a toll road there for high occupancy vehicles. So I whipped over that way. I'd probably get a ticket now. And then he looked at me. He's like, I looked over and he was bullshitting with his wife or girlfriend or whoever she was and nearly hit me. Would have caused me to flip over that speed. The speed limit is, I think it was 70 or 75. Crazy stuff. People, we all lose focus at times, but man, wide open roads. The last place you'd expect that sort of thing to happen. So kind of a shame. Anyway, I'm sure we'd be happy to talk to you about it again if you want. Well, we can try it again, Dan, and see if people want to do it. Yeah, no, I don't want to lose the channel. It's buffering. Sorry to hear that, Alan. Anyone else buffering? The roads out there are great. If you don't pay attention for a second, you'll end up in a sinkhole or hit a cow. Yes, Denise, they look very happy. They look very, very happy. See, your straight talk brings me back. Don't always get notifications, so miss the live broadcast, but watch you later. Well, thank you for that. When I'm at home, it's pretty obvious. Unless I've got consulting, normal sequence events, 7 days a week, 6 p.m. South African time, regardless of daylight savings times in the U.S., and of late, 5 a.m. So that's tough for me to do, but I'm doing both those. You have the color of adrenaline chase you down. I have no idea what that means, Dylan. Hey, adrenaline is especially when there are big trucks around. Yeah, and then as you get into Utah, there's more and more trucks because it's so densely populated here in Salt Lake area now. So I was just debating my route tomorrow. I could take Interstate 80, which goes through the mountains, or go back up when I came down. Double my path. It's only 7 minutes difference. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go take Interstate 80 because I don't think I've driven that in probably 30 years or more. And I barely remember it. So I'm going to go and I've got the dashboard camera and get some good scenery. So hopefully. I called about a sinkhole last week and the lady was pleased to hear about it and they fixed it. Well, that's pretty cool, Dogzilla. I'm glad to hear that you got such good service there in Seattle. That's cool. I mean, you ought to. They have such high sales tax and income tax there. So yeah, so I think I'll take 80 to go out of here. So we'll see. But it's off to Bear Lake tomorrow, which is a big turquoise colored lake that's split halfway between Idaho and Utah. And then from there, it's a short hour or so over to Star Valley in Wyoming, which is where I'm headed for tomorrow night. So I've got a little bit of family history research to do in the morning here, and then it's off to the Delta Center to pop in on the Utah Mammoth, the National Hockey League team, the expansion team from last year, to maybe buy some pins and some kit if I get a good deal. And then it's down the road we go. Anyway, yep. CB, there's another OG. Sean, he's been with us for a very long time too. Hey, Shawnee, how you doing? Yeah, Dogzilla, I've got a bunch of travel videos. Yeah, a bunch of them. I don't think I did videos today. I mostly just did photographs today. Yeah. But you guys are gonna love the freaking base jumping stuff. I think you are from Twin Falls. That was wild, man. I can't wait to get that one edited when I get home. That was wild. Here's the Snake River Canyon from Twin Falls from the bridge, looking down on it. There you go. Look at that. Man, oh man. That's just wow. Jules, you're very correct. Wyoming is very cold. That's why I tell the Afrikaners to don't consider it for refugee status because you won't like it. It's too cold. It is. It is pretty cold. Anyway, yikes. So, but I do have some videos of the base jumping. I have videos of the Twin Falls. Yeah. And I'll have videos from my car when I get home from take the micro SD card out of my dashboard cam and load those up. It's too hot. It's too hot here too, Shawnee. It was like 80 some degrees here today. It's sickening. And of course, I take dock cycling, which makes me photosensitive. I was already pretty sensitive to the sun as a Viking to begin with. So it's just, the sun just is brutal. I try to stay out of it. It's horrible. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Did you like that, Shawnee? I got a bunch more. So, and took some really cool photos today. Courtney took me up one of the canyons, the canyon we want to go to. Everybody's driving up because the fall colors are changing. So for those of you curious, here's a picture of Courtney and I at the Utah State Capitol building. There you go. It's an awesome looking Capitol. We walked inside. He showed me around. It was pretty cool. But there we are. So that photograph, as always, everything has a story. So when I was in Twin Falls, I mentioned in the previous broadcast, we had a bunch of people there that were out on the edge where you go out and take photographs, get the best view. And this gentleman came over and he kind of blocked my way, but I was no problem. I was just standing there. I just waited. And he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hold you up." Because I heard them speaking their French, and a bunch of them, like they were on a tour bus. And so I said to him in French, I said, "That's not a problem. Don't worry about it." He goes, "You speak French?" I said, "Yes." And he asked me a question. I answered. I said that, and he says, "And you speak French very well." I said, "Well, so do you." Anyway, funny story. So there's the French. Now today we're at the state capitol and we come out and there's a gift shop and we come out of the gift shop and I said, "Hey, let's get a photograph of us in front of the Capitol building." So we got a photo. And Courtney says, "Yeah, let's do that." So we walk over and I said, "Let me ask this guy a nice photo." He's taking some pictures of the gift shop because it's a historical city hall. Anyway, and I said, "Would you mind taking a photograph of us?" And there, something like there. No, I heard him speak with an accent. I said, I asked him if he spoke French. He said, no. He just said, no. I said, "Well, what language do you speak?" He said, "German." So I started speaking to him German. He's like, "Whoa." So we had a conversation and he took the photograph. So yeah, no, there was a busload of French tourists in Twin Falls, Idaho. And there was a bunch of Chinese floating around in Utah. They need to get out of here. Adrian Frick is in from Switzerland. Grüezi, grüezi to you. Ich hoffe, dass alles gut in der Schweiz heute ist. Ja, bei mir geht es ziemlich gut. Ja, also der Mann kommt aus Dresden in der ehemaligen DDR. Hat mir Bescheid gesagt, ich komme aus dem Osten. Und aus dem Osten, ich habe gedacht, Schlesien oder Pommern oder Vorpommern oder vielleicht Preußen. Nein. The ehemaligen DDR. No, he told me he came from Dresden, and he said the East. He said Dresden. I didn't say that, but I said, but that's not really the East, man. That's Middle Germany. The East is Silesia, Pomerania, uh, Prussia. That's the East of Germany. Yeah. Okay. Pat Schultz. Gina Bullman, speaking of Idaho. By the way, folks, one of the highlights of my trip, you're not going to believe this. This is actually kind of cool. I've never seen this before. I've done this on my own, of course, but not industrial scale, and mine weren't this big. What am I talking about? Potatoes. Yes, one of the cool things I got to see when I came out of Sun Valley the other day is them harvesting potatoes. Semi truckloads full of potatoes stacked high. And then I went to past an agricultural place where they aggregate their stuff in big piles of these. They were all brown and covered in mud. Potatoes, tons of them. It's pretty wild. Had three turtles sunbathing on a rock in Seattle area today in the sunshine. Need to rain to raise the lake level and bury the rock. Yeah, I agree with you. Yep. Huh. Shame to hear that the Switzerland is sold out. Sorry. It's not the only place. Europe is pretty much that way. So Luis Duplessis, welcome to you. How are you this morning? This fine day. It's still evening here. Still Sunday. I was contemplating not doing a broadcast tonight, the night owls, because I was a bit tired and I figured I'd get some good rest. Tomorrow I've got to do some research, family history library, and I thought maybe I'd just get some rest. But then I thought about it. I said, it's Sunday to Monday, so South Africans they're going to be up because they're going to work, getting ready for school and things like that. So I went ahead and did it. So yep. Anyway. Yes, Shawnee, and German. Now, if I go somewhere else and I hear somebody speaking Swahili, I'm going to fall over. 58% for an EID. You're screwed. You're right, Adrian. Yes, Mike, I'm on Mountain Time, so it's only 9:25 right now. Well, hey, Fonz, how you doing, man? I've seen you a bit. Rena, hello to you. Yeah, okay, so Gabe McKenzie has threatened to quit if they don't reinstate Kenny Kanene. So I think it's a hollow threat. I will vacate position as minister on Tuesday. Tuesday. That's Tuesday, folks. If Kanene is not reinstated as MMC. Patriotic Alliance President Gabe McKenzie says he may resign as Minister of Arts, Sports Arts and Culture. Says he may resign. His party will pull out of all coalitions in the ANC and he will quit his ministerial job if his deputy president is not reinstated. He made the threats in a late-night Facebook post Thursday. Now it's Sunday, so. In the long Facebook post, he detailed the reasons why his party had decided to withdraw from coalitions and leave the GNU. These include the EFF allegedly refusing to be in a coalition with the PA in the city of Ekurhuleni and receiving only the roads and transport portfolio in the city of Johannesburg when it had negotiated for two. But it appears the Canadian issue is where PA is drawing the line in the sand. We took a decision as Patriotic Alliance to give the ANC 7 days to reinstate Kenny Kanene. Failing to do so will necessitate a move which will cause us to withdraw from all local, provincial, and national governments where we're in coalition. I shall also vacate my position as Minister of Sports. Well, do you think he's really going to do it? We shall all go to the ground. Never forget the biggest lesson here. You can't remain and to dine at a table when disrespect is on the menu. Well, tell that to the Democratic Alliance. They seem to have no trouble staying at the table when disrespect is on order. Ludi Barnett says, hello from Sandy, Utah, just a few miles down the road from where you are. Glad to have you here. Well, Ludi, it's a shame we couldn't meet up. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see how far Sandy is from here. Take a peek real quick. I love meeting up with viewers. It's always a lot of fun. Let me do maps. Okay, S-A-N-D-Y. Sandy, Utah. There we go. And let's see what it says. Come on. Took a while to figure it out. It's about a half hour from here. It's a bit below 80, so a little far from me. Huh. Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. Didn't know we had another viewer in this area. I haven't done the family history search yet. That's tomorrow morning. They're closed on Sunday, I believe. All's going to change now. Something Atlas flyby. Huh. Yes, Dogzilla. The Springboks pummeled the Pumas. Yeah, they're in the driver's seat now. Orem, Utah. Jules, seriously? Where are all these people from Utah popping in while I'm in Utah? Is it because they saw Salt Lake City in the title and did he get referred to you? Wow. Wow. Welcome in. Yes, but they're South Africans. Jules Essays obviously is South African. Wow. Where are all these Utah folks been at before? Good to see you all. Welcome this evening. One of my favorite places. I was a huge fan of the Jazz when in the Stockton Malone era. Love the Jazz. Jeff Hornacek. Love that era. Jeff Hornacek played at Iowa State. I coached I taught at Iowa State, not coached. I wish I coached. Yeah. So yeah, I love the Jazz back in the day, and I'm going to root for the Mammoth, even though I'm a Vegas Golden Knights fan. Utah's not in the news, but the LDS Church is in the news because of a shooting and a fire started by some lunatic in Michigan targeting an LDS church. It's apparently 4 people are dead. It's horrible what's going on here. And light rain. What's going on? No material, you get some high elevation snow. Light rain, I agree with you, and I expect the snow. I brought a puffer jacket, and I brought a fleece, and I haven't had to wear them. I've been wearing shorts all the time. It was 86 degrees in Twin Falls a couple days ago. Then it was 72. Then it was 80 something again, and it was 80 something here today in Salt Lake City. It's brutal. It's brutal. I mean, this is not how it's supposed to be. I expect the temperatures to be in the 60s right now. That's what it's supposed to be. This is not what I was expecting and not what I want. I was really looking forward to coming out here because of the weather, but the weather has not been my friend. So I haven't seen any snow on any peaks. Of course, I'll be getting the higher elevations when I get to Wyoming, but I'll be driving through the valleys, so there shouldn't be a snow problem. That doesn't mean there won't be. I mean, September you can get snow, so we'll see. But I'm not worried about that. I've got a Chevy Blazer. It's in good shape, and it's all season tires, so good to go. Yeah. Yeah. So, thanks for the concern there. Jules says, I always watch. Yeah, Jules, but I didn't know you're always there. I also didn't realize you're in Utah. If you told me that before, it went through one ear and out the other ear. So, wow. Yep. Even if it was snowing, you would be in the puffy jacket, but with the shorts. Well, I don't usually have a puffy jacket, but got a good deal on one. So we had a great bride today in the shade. Okay, cool. Yeah, in the shade. There you go. Madeline, my dear, I have taken many photographs, many photographs. So here you go. This is all from this trip right here. Everything right here. Look at this. This is all from this trip. There's plenty of photographs, and I'll be showing them when I get home. Lots of videos too. Anyway, all of that, including the amount of leg room I had on the flight to Chicago. No leg room. And the guy, of course, in front leaned back and smashed my knees. Yeah. Dylan says climate change is real. Okay, if you say so, Dylan. And then this, of course, I got in Chicago when I met Vice President Mike Pence. He gave me the vice president's coin. That was kind of cool. Yeah, man, I take lots of pictures. I'm always taking pictures. Yep. And I took a picture of the Grand Tetons flying over, which was super cool. I had no idea we were going to fly over, but we flew right over the Grand Tetons and I took a photograph. Really cool stuff. So, yeah, I've got Craters of the Moon, Twin Falls, now Salt Lake, and going on to Wyoming. And also, like I said, I have the dashboard cam. I didn't run it from Twin Falls down almost all the way to Salt Lake because there's nothing to see. It's all, boring and eats up a lot of compact or micro SD card space. So, although it's a 2 GB card, I think. So I waited till I got close to Salt Lake, let about an hour away and turn it back on. So, but that way it lasts for a long time. I can download those pictures later on. Pence has a pocket full of coins. Well, he has his vice presidential coin. We talked for several minutes at the airport in O'Hare. He was really impressed with my career. Zelda, what's going on there? Welcome to you. Yeah. So, anyway, well, Dogzilla, I do travel videos all the time, and people just don't watch them. I mean, one of my favorite videos, of course, is the video for the Hood Constantia. It's a documentary. It was actually filmed by Juan Mula. He's the Pet Zoo film crew. He filmed. He's a professional film editor, a photographer, and videographer, and he made it. And it's really good. It's about 20 minutes, and unfortunately, it's doesn't get many views. YouTube doesn't promote it. It's really sad. But anyway, shame. Yep. So yeah, the puffy jacket's not my kind of thing, but I've got one now, so what am I going to say? All right, so there's a few things to talk about here. Ooh, what's that? What was that? Ooh, Leslie Wilson. I have visited Salt Lake City many times. All the spots you visit today bring back fond memories. Beautiful place. I'm off for hospital for rotator cuff surgery. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Leslie, for making it rain, the clouds gathering, and I appreciate you doing it today because, after the rotator cuff surgery, it might be a while before you can super chat again because you won't be able to type. No, but seriously, best of luck at the surgery, Leslie. It's pretty awesome. And Salt Lake, been here many times. I have not been to Salt Lake in a number of years. I've been here a few times. Ooh, I'm watching a video of these freaking windmills being ripped down by a tornado. Oh, they're just snapping like twigs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's dangerous. Like that day, when I got to that was yeah, ready with your Mountain State news. Several people went off the bridge and they safely landed in the Snake River Canyon. In further news, potatoes are up and they're popular. My goodness. Buffering. What is going on with the buffering, man? Leslie says it's raining. I don't know where you're at, Leslie. So where's it raining at? Well, it's not strange. It's YouTube. It's YouTube player because I'm not having any buffering problems and most people aren't. So let's see. Let me play it. See if I can load it. I'm on the network here, not the Wi-Fi. Well, maybe it is buffering. No, I got an advert.
Sometimes things.
Oh, no, I got an advert. Yeah. So it's working fine.
Sometimes things.
See, it echoes when you do that. Yeah, you're in and out of PA. Well, yeah, Mike. I mean, it's I was interviewed for a documentary about South Africans in America, and that was why I came out here. But the Rugby World Cup was the other thing. I'll have a trip for South Africa coming up at some point, and yeah, it's just lots going. Linda Fundanest making it rain, clouds gathering. 35 Rand. Thank you for that. Your first ever super chat on the live stream. Thank you so much for that. Yep. Had a torn rotator cuff, was told surgery was the only option, could not afford it. Yeah, I think you told me that before, Alan. It healed on its own. Yep. Well, I wish my hip would heal, but I don't think it's going to. Oh, you're near Flanagan. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Leslie, I know that area. I've been down there. Yeah, that guy was deathly ill down there. In fact, I was down there with one of my viewers and a South African singer, Van der Westhuizen. Donnie van der Vestas, and we went for a ride with him and his camping, and then I had to go get some meds so I could feel better, and I went to the pharmacy and it was closed, so I had to drive to Flanagan to get the meds. Taiwan is buffering. Okay, I don't know what's going on here, folks. Gary Wild, what's up? Welcome back to you. So, what is most obvious is not a single street light still standing on the main road, all cut and cables gone. Yeah, you're right about that, Fonz. That's just the way it is. I mean, I saw that down in PE, how they steal the lights, how they cut them down so they get the tenders to replace them. It's so vile and repulsive, so sickening. All right, so what else? Government confirms rules over expired driving license amid massive backlog. South Africans can use an expired driver's license for a period of 3 months. We know that, so long as they apply for a new card before the expiry date. Airlines must accept driver's license valid ID under these terms. But what happens after 3 months? Then you're not allowed to drive because you still haven't gotten a damn license. There have been extended waiting times for driver's license this year after the only printer machine broke down for 3 months earlier this year. Now, temporary license. Okay. They also, oh, you can apply for temporary license. That's good for 6 months or until your new license is issued. So I guess the answer is you have to apply for temporary license when they. Oh, this is such a stupid country. It's the way they do stuff. 700,000 license card applications were stuck in a backlog. Jeez. Wow. As of September 13th, the backlog was still 336,000 people. It's just, someone ought to be sacked over this. Why is no one fired for this incompetence? It's amazing. Well, Donald Trump's granddaughter, Kai, has had her own clothing line. Look at that. Wow, his granddaughter's unveiled a clothing brand bearing her name. Promotional photos taken at the White House featuring a teen in a $130 sweatshirt. I think that's a bit much for me. Don Jr.'s daughter stood near the 79-year-old Republican on Friday wearing one of her brand's pullovers as he answered reporters' questions outside the White House. This is Kai, by the way. He told the Washington Press Corps introduced his 18-year-old granddaughter. Yep, yep. Jeez, so she's got her own clothing line now. Kai Trump. Former President Thabo Mbeki applauds Guanazi for his bravery in tackling crime and corruption. Well, further split inside the ANC. Former President Thabo Mbeki has vouched for the courage demonstrated by KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Anandla Mkhwanazi in publicly addressing the challenges within the country's criminal justice system. And he's right. He's right. He's right. What did I miss? We waited 6 months, finally got a license, and photo is so faded I can't imagine how they can identify me. She's like a ghost. Sorry, Raina. Uh, Taiwan is the Republic of China. Is Loretta's post showing SC circles? Well, Loretta posted several times earlier, Husky. I saw them all. Is she trying to post again? Bloodcup, welcome to you. Good to see you there. We did a driver's license card renewals and waited for only 3 weeks. Had to renew my license in March, temporary. Hold 6 months, not 3. And I got, well, no, that's what I'm saying. The news story contradicts itself. I read to you what the story said, then it contradicts itself later in the story. So, yeah, but it also says it's good for 6 months or until your new license is issued. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Vinborg near Bloemfontein. Okay, Dogzilla. Loretta posted she was showing that it was buffering for her. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the pipe from here. Look, I'm further away. It shouldn't be an issue, though. I could be on the surface of the moon. It all should work out just the same. Anyway, so the IOL gleefully publishes a story about an internal U.S. State Department document about investment potential in South Africa. Now, I will tell you that I've read through part of the document, particularly the executive summary, and it's accurate, but it paints an overly positive picture of South Africa and fails to capture many of the problems with investing in South Africa. But compared to most of Africa, it looks pretty good. So, Thabo Makwakwa, well, that sounds like a mouthful. So the U.S. government has revealed that South Africa remains a key gateway for investment in sub-Saharan Africa, leveraging what is widely regarded as the region's most advanced industrialized economy. Despite significant challenges, including a fraught political environment, persistent economic obstacles, countries' relatively stable institutions, and mature financial markets make it an attractive destination for foreign investors. Yeah, not so much. So I'm going to get to the report now. Here's the actual report. I'm going to read the executive summary to you. Okay, this report just came out in September. South Africa. Now, this is an internal thing the State Department has, but they make these things publicly available. It says South Africa is the most advanced and industrialized economy in sub-Saharan Africa. True. Key enablers of the investment climate include relatively stable institutions, an independent judiciary, and a robust legal sector that respects the rule of law. I would disagree. A free press and mature financial and services sector and experienced local partners enabling U.S. investment. I would say the free press is not legitimately free press. South Africa remains a hub for regional investment. Key factors tracking U.S. investment are South Africa's deep and well-regulated capital markets. True. Its position as a regional hub for trade investment. True. But that's been weakened. Its comparative strengths to some industrialized manufacturing sectors, I would disagree with that. South Africa is falling apart there. And the strength of its legal system. Again, I don't think that the legal system is nearly as good as the embassy implies or states. However, South Africa continues to suffer from the lost decade in which economic growth stagnated, largely due to corruption, economic mismanagement, and a slow economic rebound after COVID-19 amid endemic logistics and energy crises. Other challenges include policy uncertainty, a lack of regulatory oversight and enforcement, tight fiscal position, corruption, violent crime, a lack of basic infrastructure and government service delivery, and shortages of skilled labor. Following national elections in May 2024, in which no party earned a majority, South Africa formed a 10-party coalition government in July 2024, referred to as the Government National Unity. While the parties contain a range of political views, the GNU government sets goals to rebuild economic growth, not happening, increase public investment, not happening, and address the government's persistent failures in logistics and service delivery, not happening. Consequently, the stability of the GNU has been a key driver of positive investor sentiment. I don't know how. How has that been a positive driver of investor sentiment when nothing has worked? The GNU has accomplished nothing except continue the enduring legacy of the ANC being in power. It's accomplished nothing. So how does that drive investor sentiment positively? It doesn't drive my sentiment. I ran a driving school. Corruption and the test station is unbelievable. I don't doubt that. Because they use Taiwan as well, Colton. Some countries use different names for their country. So, I mean, Germany is we know it as Germany, but it's known as the Bundesrepublik Deutschland, not the Federal Republic of Germany. That's English. I had 2 temporary driving licenses, and I'm still waiting for my license, says Herman. What a rude awakening. My fur baby doing zoomies woke me with certain curtain. Oh my goodness. Sorry to hear that, Karen. How did you meet? Talking to Dogzilla. For the news. Have a good night. Well, thank you, Angelique. I'm covering a little bit of news here, but this is night owl, so we don't do the news. I don't know if you'll catch me for the news. It's going to be the next couple of days going to be very long, so you probably won't catch me for the news until Friday. I'm doing my best to add some news here and there, but it's not easy. So today I drove 3 hours to get down here. Tomorrow I've got to drive 4 hours. Yeah, and that's after I work doing research in the morning. So yeah, doesn't go so easy. Anyway, distant relatives. North of Seattle is nice, Dogzilla. Seattle is not my cup of tea anymore, but north of Seattle is nice. I agree with you on that one. So, then we were so lucky to receive ours so fast. Haunting. Well, it's just a matter of the luck of the draw, at the where you're at and how effective. Oh, God bless, this chair's sticking to me. This leather sticking. I'll watch your next live. Well, thank you, Angelique. I appreciate that. Stephen Orkia, good morning to you. Didn't get it before we left South Africa. We'll try again with family visits there. All right, Jules. Okay. Oh, excuse me, guys. Yawning a little bit here. Sorry about that. So back to the news. So U.S. news. Democrats, Republicans are digging their heels in ahead of the government shutdown, which comes in just a couple of days. Today's 28th. Wednesday, the government will shut down. Yep. Yep. Senate Minority Leader Chucky Schumer said today he'll use a planned meeting with President Trump and top congressional aides to insist on including an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies as part of a deal to avert a government shutdown. No. So far, they stonewalled and said, we're not discussing any of that, Schumer told us. We'll see if it changes on Tuesday. Well, they should stonewall because you want to spend money we don't have, you slimy little bastard. So, the full force of Trump's federal job cuts is about to hit D.C. region. Paychecks will end soon for thousands of employees who took offers of deferred resignation or are struggling to find new work. Well, I don't know how they're struggling to find new work. There are 13 million empty jobs in America. How can you be struggling to find work when we don't have enough people to fill those jobs? Brian Naranjo, a 55-year-old former State Department employee, resigned in May and apparently can't find work, I guess, according to this article. Yeah. Since January, the DC region's unemployment rate has increased 8 times more rapidly than the country. Yeah, because all these people living off the government teat. Yep. Yep. Brian Naranjo, a 55-year-old former state employee, said he's been unsuccessfully thrown his resume at more than 50 positions since resigning in May. He expected a rough job market, he said, but nothing this bad. Now, I submit that Mr. Navarro is probably unwilling to relocate. I'm more and more apprehensive as October approaches, as Jennifer Malanab, who resigned from the Department of Homeland Security after more than 20 years and struggling to find a new job. She lives with her husband and 4 children in Calvert County, Maryland. This is not where you want to be at the age of 42 with a family. Well, sorry to hear that, my dear. At least 4 people are dead, 8 injured in the Michigan church shooting and fire. Law enforcement authorities said the suspect was killed after police exchanged gunfire with him. FBI is investigating this as an act of targeted violence. I would call it terrorism. At least 4 people killed, several others injured in the Michigan church today after a man allegedly rammed a truck into the building where worshipers were gathered for a packed service and then opened fire. Thomas Jacob Sanford, 40, of nearby city of Burton, was identified by police as the only suspect in the attack on the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints building in Grand Blanc Township. Jeez. 10 gunshot victims were sent to hospitals, 2 of whom later died. 2 more victims were found Sunday night in the debris of the fire that began during the attack and engulfed the church. More victims could be found as authorities searched through the rubble. Sick. Suspect was killed by police within 8 minutes in the back parking lot of the church. He appeared to use an accelerant to set the church on fire. The attack finally prompted some major cities, including Los Angeles and New York, to boost security around places of worship out of abundance caution. Why this hasn't been happening, I don't understand. I mean, we've had a synagogue attack, we've had black churches attacked. Why are there not armed security at churches? I don't get this. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. The attack started at 10:25 in the morning. Law enforcement officers arrived on the scene within moments. 2 officers neutralized the suspect by 10:33. When the officers arrived, the church was already on fire. Additional bomb threats were reported at other locations, including churches. Michigan State Police Specialist Lieutenant Kim Fetter told reporters Sunday night. This is, I don't understand this. Why are we still not putting security at churches? This should have been done ages ago. What is wrong with these people? Yes, Jules, I said synagogues were attacked, particularly the one in Pittsburgh. Oh, I see. Huh? No, it is. No, it is a synagogue, Holden. You're wrong about that. Synagogues have been attacked. Yep. You get that nice sweet smog from. You get this smog from Vancouver. What are you talking about, man? I've been to Vancouver. There's like no smog in Vancouver. Is that because they give it to you? I've been to Vancouver. Never seen any smog there. It's beautiful. I think people don't want to offend some Chinese communists. Exactly. That's why you're right, Holden. That's correct. But I don't care if I offend the Chinese communists. They should be offended. They're offensive. Among 350 million people, there are some crazies. Also crazy how easy it is for them to buy guns. No, it doesn't need to change, Dogzilla. It doesn't need change. No, guns aren't easy to come by where I live. You got to go through records checks, background checks, fingerprints, all that stuff. Yep, not easy to come by. When I was a kid, guns were easy to come by the way they should be. You should just go buy them. I had 30 rifles and shotguns when I was a teenager. Yep. There certainly have been churches with armed security attendants. Yeah, no, I know, Light Rain. There are some that have done it, but I'm just saying that, it's anyway. Coloreds at your work in Southern carry firearms at church, no attacks. Well, they're smart. Jill says husband and son both now carry after Charlie Kirk, also in the church. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how you stop these lunatics. If somebody had been armed when he started shooting, they could have fired back and taken him out pretty quickly. Yeah. Because they don't expect people to be armed. They're looking for soft targets, these clowns. Anyway, right. Pause that. Yeah, YouTube's playing games with me again, folks. They keep taking away subscribers again. I surged up and passed 620 something, 112,620, and they took me back down to 619 today. Those bastards. After not losing subscribers on any day this year, now every day I'm losing subscribers. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I was at let me see, 607, then dropped to 591, up to 593, 615, 617, and then back to 690. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I actually was up over almost 630 a couple times. They just keep playing their games. YouTube, they're nasty little games. By the way, yesterday, folks, we hit a record low. I thought we hit a low before, 21,000 back on Friday the 19th. Well, we hit just 19,700, not even 20,000 views yesterday. Wow. Really dropping. I don't know why the flying monkeys have to worry about my channel and slander me. I mean, it's not like I'm getting many views. uh, what do I think about the Browning A5 shotgun? I don't know. I've not fired it. Not seen it. Good morning, Mad Max. Dennis LaRue, good morning to you as well. To all the 128 people here, and to the 1,000 plus people who were on the live stream, 1,045 was our peak when I interviewed Willem and Kara. Thank you for joining us. That was pretty cool. Yep. So this has been an interesting trip so far. I've met with Willem and Kara and their family and another refugee family. I visited the refugee center. I've done the canyons, craters of the moon. I've done the Snake River Canyon and Shoshone Falls. I have come to Salt Lake and met with Courtney. I met with Billy Painter in Twin Falls, and I might be meeting with another viewer in Boise. Just wait, she was here earlier in the chat. I don't know. She didn't get back with me. Maybe she doesn't want to meet. That's fine. You don't have to meet with me, but it would be really cool. I mean, it's a long way for me to come. Why not meet me? That'd be kind of cool. So you won't be disappointed. Don't worry, I won't chat you up. You're not aboard my seat. Mad Max enjoyed the interview so much and cracked a tear. It was lovely. Well, they had me kind of get me choked up there at the end. Very kind of them. It's for all the scumbags who distort the truth and lie about stuff. It's moments like that and the message I get from people, the thanks and the praise I get from people, it just makes it all worthwhile. I mean, when you can make a difference in someone's life. Oh my goodness, did I remember to bring my toothbrush? I just realized that. Um, yeah, I did go back. Now, where did I put it at? I think I have to go down to the car and get my toothbrush and brush my teeth in the morning. I just realized that. Or brush them tonight even. Yeah, because it wasn't in my bag because I was trying to pack and get out of there. Yeah, so I had breakfast with the Cake Net crew this morning and Rion, and then went and did the interview. And from there, went to Costco, filled up my truck. Speaking of which, I got to find the Costco around here so I can top off again before I leave. Although gas is a little bit less expensive here than it was in Twin Falls, but it's still expensive. Yeah, because that'll be the last time I'll be able to get decent price gas before I leave this trip. So, yep. All right. Now I'm having second thoughts of asking to go to Washington State so I can visit my elderly cousin in Vancouver. Olympia, not Seattle. Karen, I'm not sure I followed out what the logic is there. Loretta says, awesome and if you're relaxed and informed. Well, thank you. Multitude brushes in my office. Yeah, no, I do too. I have floss everywhere. I have floss in my great white hunter vest. I have floss in my shaving bag. I have floss in my carry bag. I have floss everywhere. But I just brought the one toothbrush this time. So anyway, yeah. So it's the little things, you have to remember where did you put your flip flops? Because I'm not getting in the shower. It's not my shower. Without cop gave me an Idaho badge. I have no idea what that means. Max. Nicola says, "Hey, Nicola, how's it going? How is?" Oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank there. Oh man, I'm tired. Outside of Durban. Where was that? Where was that we went to? Oh gosh, bless him. Anyway, the meet and greet. Paracord. Thank you, Nicola Belito. Tired, man. Belito, how's Belito? How are things? Well, Vancouver is very close to Washington State. Yeah, Seattle and Vancouver are just a short distance apart. I also want to start packing, just waiting for that phone call. Thank you, Chris. Don't know if it will do. I will do it without you. Well, okay, well, Dennis, I'm glad. See, I get stuff like that every day, WhatsApps and email messages from people. In fact, I'm behind the email. So if you're expecting, in fact, let me take a look now, see if there's any critical emails while we're here very quickly before we go somewhere else. Google, let me go to my Gmail. Probably have got 100 more messages without even looking here. Okay. Kathy, I see Kathy's email. Okay. No, Kathy, I didn't think that. Thank you. Um, I got a message here from Academia. Did I write oral care for fur elders? No, I didn't do that. That wasn't me. Someone else wrote that. Uh, uh, just looking to see. So what was that? What just came up? Matt Max gave a super chat. What do you think of South African delegates walk in? Yeah, I heard that, but I haven't seen that report anywhere and I haven't had time to find it. I think it's disgraceful. I think they're petulant children and they don't deserve to get any respect whatsoever because they clearly don't have. So sorry, the television's on in the background and it's showing a shot of a neighborhood where the tornado went straight through and all the houses got ripped up. 30 degrees. Well, summer's coming. Jeez. Take care, Dougie Ray. Good morning, Dory Smith. All right, so yeah, so I was just trying to get back here. Okay, so the family that I helped that's in Austin, they've gotten more help. So I got a thank you just a few minutes ago. It says thanks for all your efforts and assisting us. We really appreciate you. I wanted to forward a letter received from our refugee resettlement agency. They've gone out of their way this last week. We now have furniture and my son is enrolled in the local school. Agency seems to have rolled up their sleeves and are really making every effort to assist us now. Thank you for the mail you sent to them. It made a big difference. Yeah, this is a family that was in Austin, Texas that was being ignored by the refugee agency because of one agent. Not because of the agency, but the person that was working their case was being a turd. And so I reached out and I just put a few facts on the table and mentioned I'm a journalist, independent journalist. Also mentioned maybe I got the information wrong. People embellish, but could you check into it? And the regional manager got involved and they did it. So show us the car you're driving, some road scenery. The car is a black Chevy Blazer. And it's in the parking garage. I'm 17 floors above that, 18 floors because there's one floor below. So I'm 18 floors from that, so I can't share the car. News article about a guy who got sucked out of his motorhome by a tornado and dropped some distance from it. He actually, yeah, that happens. It happens, blood cup. The tough part about surviving is if you don't get hit by debris inside the funnel cloud, because there's so much crap flying around there: wood, trees, branches, cars, people, washing machines, cows. If you get hit by one of that, you're done. Is the National Guard still going to Portland? As far as I know. As far as I know. As far as I know. Yes, Mad Max, you're late. We just talked about that before you arrived, apparently. We just talked about that extensively about the church in Michigan. Ironically, I'm in Utah, which is the home of the Latter-day Saints Church, and it was the Latter-day Saints Church that was targeted. Yeah. There were lots of questions answered after the interview. Thank you, Colonel. I can see you have a special place in their hearts too. Well, thank you, Madeline. And that was intentional. I mean, I structured that conversation to answer questions that I knew people were going to have. So, Billy Pater's there. Good to see you. You're traveling safe. It was awesome meeting with you. Yeah, I enjoyed meeting with you too. Also, I spoke with Willem. Yeah, he told me he's meeting him and his family for lunch on Saturday. That's awesome. You guys are very closely. I mean, you're not even a mile apart. Maybe a mile and a half apart. You're very closely located. So, yeah. They've been there for all this time. You didn't know that. Yeah, so Billy Painter, good to see you there, Billy. Wow, we've got everybody in the Mountain States. I think I've got about 4% of the Mountain States population listening to the program tonight. uh, yeah, imagine catching a feral cat in a cyclone. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, no, that's the tough thing. I mean, people do survive that, though. I mean, people survive being struck by lightning. They do. I'm not sure they're the same afterwards, but they do get struck. People survived it. Next to the high school, man. There's not really don't. He doesn't live that close to the high school. Okay. The work the Colonel does for African country people is significant. There are many Americans support the folks out there, but the Colonel does a lot. I mean, well, thank you very much, Courtney. It's very kind of you. Yeah. Yeah, and Courtney was a fantastic host today. So tomorrow I got to do it all on my own, like I usually do. No host, nobody taking me around. So, Courtney, we got it. You don't have to keep posting. It came up 3 times. Yeah, so anyway, it was it's been pretty epic so far. It'd be pretty wild if somebody would recognize me in Wyoming, Western Wyoming, but I don't think that's going to happen. But that's quite all right. Is that the Duck Dynasty people in the show? Anyway, I got the TV on over here, Discovery Channel. No, it's not Duck Dynasty. They're in Alaska. Okay. Huh. Guys, I really should call tonight for tonight. Rock Springs to Cheyenne. Oh, that's a long drive. I'm not driving that, Billy. No, Mad Max, I haven't looked at properties. That would be tomorrow. I'm just going to go real estate agent, get some information, see what they've got. Yeah, I gathered some real estate information from Boise when I was there too. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Did you survive? You can survive the ANC, but things have got to change. Things have got to change inside. I did 2 shorts earlier, by the way, folks. If you want to go check them out when this is over, please check out my 2 short videos. All right. Yes, Salt Lake City Metro is too crowded. The region is thinly populated, but there's a reason for it because there's no damn water in a lot of these places. Can you buy my lawn if I move? Can you afford it? Uh, yeah, well, the bed's not calling. I'll just lie down and probably watch some TV and read. Been all over the world, experienced a lot of cultures. What's your view on the world today? Do you think things are normal? Well, normalized seems to be a lot of overall frustration. Yeah, Husky, I think that the world is in a mess right now. It really is. I'm not going to say it's the worst it's ever been. I'm just saying that it's a mess right now, and we really need to clean up this mess. We really do. And Trump is trying. The rest of us need to get on board and try too. So, Laughter for Lemons just subscribed. Thank you, Laughter for Lemons. I like that username. Let me know the next video if you see any. I saw pronghorn in Idaho. All over the place, I saw pronghorn in Idaho. Not big numbers, not like driving across Colorado, in Wyoming. Wyoming, you see tons of pronghorn. Yep, but yeah, yep, they're pretty cool. Praise on my pronghorn antelope, folks. If you guys don't know that, ECR just reported on the church attack. Okay, well, they just woke up. They just woke up. All right, guys, that's going to do it here. Thanks to Courtney today. Thanks to Billy when I was in Twin Falls. Also, thanks to Willem and Cara and their families when I was there, and to everyone. Your business states we would love to end up in if possible. Yeah, Loretta. I understand. But all right, so that's going to be it, guys. You have a lovely day and evening, and I'll record video for sure, but I might make a few shorts on the road if I've got good connection. Otherwise, I'll be doing this tomorrow night because it's going to be a long day for me. Okay. All right. You guys have a good one. God bless and take care. All right. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Doesn't cost you anything but a moment of your time. Okay. Cheers.